Hello, it's this epic disaster.
This is an epic disaster.
It is kind of. We're just sort of just barely kind of like, sort of starting kind of like in the middle going in, and I don't know what we're doing.
Chilling.
Yeah, it's not official. I mean, it is an official start, but whatever. We did it. We started.
It's done. We've started.
Let's pour a beer.
Okay. That's the best way to start.
Live beer review. We start the show immediate with the live beer review.
Today we're drinking a beer called Pucker Up, Baby.
Pucker Up, Baby. Ooh, let's give it to a baby.
No. It's by it's by Beacon Brewing. It's a sour, clearly. Yeah. It is let me tell you what it is. Blackberry, lemon, and thyme, as in THYME.
Look at it. It's very light.
I'll tell you what it says on the back. Pucker up, baby.
Baby.
Because it's blackberry, lemon, thyme. Mm-hmm. We mashed this beer with local oats and wheat for a supple, round mouth feel, and fermented with a non-conventional yeast to produce both alcohol and acidity.
A little human milk in there too, I'll bet.
With fresh lemon zest and thyme in the whirlpool and blackberry in the fermenter, synergy is the name of the game.
It smells like, it smells it.
As your senses navigate this fruity, zesty, herbaceous ale.
It smells like a sour.
It's probably a true sour. It's a 4.3% alcohol by volume.
Woo! Woo!
Woo!
Pucker up, baby. It's like drinking vinegar.
Oh no. Did I do good?
It's very vinegary. It's like, that's why you like it. It's like pickle juice, and you love pickle juice.
I drink pickle juice.
It's so much like pickle juice. Pickle up, baby. Yeah. There you go.
I like it. I like it.
All right, so we haven't had a lot of time. So I finally got our 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, our podcast problem sort of worked out. So I did post it.
Okay.
And that's up. So we didn't miss one.
So the one with the audio issues came out right before the one that didn't have audio.
Yeah, I sort of fixed it. I think we're okay. We're okay. It went up, and it might not have been perfect, but it worked.
There's nothing perfect about it.
And I did some calculating. I'm not sure, but I think that we're doing our Evil Zoom.
Yes.
On June 6th.
Yes.
And I think that episode, and I might be wrong, but I think it might be episode 222, which would be 6. That would be perfect. The devil worked it out perfectly.
I think so. Because
Yeah,
the devil is in the details,
Maybe.
like they say.
I don't really get into details. But anyway, I have to figure it out. But I think it's gonna work. If not, it's going to be like the week after. But I think it is. And that would be kind of sweet.
Sweet evil.
Sweet as evil goes.
Evil.
Yeah.
Like the fruits of the devil.
So we will be doing that on June 6th. And tune in, people. We're gonna be doing it's Evil Zoom, and we're gonna be having a Zoom, and people will come in, and I'm going to drink a 6-pack live and see what happens. And you can too if you want.
I'm not carrying you down the stairs.
Don't give it to a baby.
Pucker up, baby.
Don't give anything to a baby that would make them
fall down the stairs.
Yeah.
Because they do that all by themselves.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
Okay.
Anyway, week. How was your week? We didn't have a lot of time since the last time we recorded.
Yeah. I have some stuff to discuss.
Okay.
Some revelations.
Whoa.
That I have come to understand about my current state of being.
Yeah.
And we can discuss that in detail after we play a game.
Okay.
Of Would You Rather.
Would you rather? Okay. I threw a stone first last time, so you do it this time.
Okay. Now, before we begin our game, is there anything interesting that happened to you in the last few days since we last spoke?
I don't think so.
Okay. Cool.
I don't think so.
Again, it's only been a number of days, like a handful of days.
Yeah. Anyway, drop a stone. Come on. Blue.
It's blue.
Blue is appearance.
You need your glasses.
Appearance and something.
Embarrassment.
Is that what it is? Appearance and embarrassment. Would you rather have 14 fingers or 16 toes?
14 fingers.
I would think, well, that's appearance. I would say, why is that embarrassment? There might be people with 14 fingers.
I would much rather have 14 fingers.
14 fingers would be what? 2 extra on each hand? Yeah.
Well,
no.
We have 10.
You would have 10, then you would need 2 in addition to the 10, right?
Uh-huh.
On each hand.
On each hand.
14.
So I would have 14 fingers, which means I would be a great pianist.
And people wouldn't know when you were flipping them off.
Because which one's in the middle?
That's right. You wouldn't know.
This is my ring finger, buddy.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, did you drop a stone on the floor?
I did. I don't know if I can find it.
Give it a shot.
I think it's under the table, like way under the table.
So. Oh, it's right by your foot. I'll get it.
Huh?
I get it.
Oh, I see it.
I got it.
We could have just counted that as my throw.
Sorry.
But, all right, here we go. Shaking it up. I want a yellow one tonight.
We were under the table together.
I want a yellow one.
What'd you get? A blue one. That's weird. Once again, we both got blue.
We both got blue. When did that happen?
I haven't been blown in a while.
Hey, now.
All right. Appearance, embarrassment. Would you rather be a woman with a mustache?
Oh, man, wouldn't I?
Or a man with large breasts?
Well, I'm already one of those, so that's all I'm going to say.
But they're fun to play with, right?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not. Mine's not at the play with stage. But a woman with a mustache. There's a lot of women with mustaches.
There's lots of women with mustaches.
Okay.
Mustached women.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, that was kind of boring.
Yeah, that was a boring one. Dang.
Man with large breasts.
Yeah, I don't want to be a man with large breasts either, but that's what happens when you get older.
That's
you just
life.
get large breasts.
And women, as they age, get more hair on their face.
Yeah, it's basically they should just say, "What should you rather, get older
or get older?"
Yeah,
yeah,
because that's basically what it is.
I agree.
Okay, so no, I want to talk about a new thing that I'm working on.
What you got?
I kind of got inspired because, at the gallery this next 2 months, but we had a special event this past weekend. The editorial cartoonist for the Atlanta Journal, Mike Lukovich, is the featured artist in the gallery. And I kind of did that just for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is I love editorial cartoons, and he's one of the best in the country.
Right.
And so he was there, and he did a artist presentation. And I just got a little inspired. So I kind of decided to pull out all of my old editorial cartoons, because I did that for 25 years or so.
You have so many. You kept them all.
Yeah. And there's tons of them. And I'm going to go through them and put them into a book, because something needs to happen other than just being in a file cabinet.
It's going to be awesome, too, because you'll be able to, some of them are kind of old.
Most of them are old.
So you'll be able to, in a book, you'll be able to just write a little blurb about each one, either what inspired it, or explain it full out for people that wouldn't know.
Some of them go all the way back to the Clinton era.
Yep.
Believe it or not, there are people alive today driving cars that weren't even alive during the Clinton era.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
It is
like
weird.
Clinton to them is like Harry Truman to me.
Right.
Yeah, it's just weird. It doesn't even make sense. But anyway, that's the way it is.
Well, who was president when you were born?
Kennedy.
Okay, so Carter was president when I was born.
Holy crap.
For a number of days.
Yeah.
5 days.
I mean, I can remember Carter being president, so I can remember Nixon being president.
So this was at the end of Carter's president. Or wait, am I incorrect? Maybe I'll have to figure it out. I want to say that Nixon was president for 5 days and then Carter was president, but I could be wrong.
So Nixon was in, he was going to be impeached and he quit.
Right.
And then Gerald Ford was president for maybe 2 years, I think.
Okay.
Because, Watergate forced Nixon out.
Yes.
And then Carter beat
Ford.
He was president for one term, and Reagan came in and beat him.
I'm going to have to look it up, but let's move on.
It's our history lesson of the day.
I want to know about your book. Mm-hmm. Tell me again.
I'm just saying, I'm going to put them all in a book, and then I'm going to release them. It'll be kind of fun. I don't expect to sell bunches of them. It's mostly just for I don't know, historical purposes to have it put out, but we'll talk about it later. Maybe people buy it. I might put it out for free. People can just download it for free and read the cartoons. If I do charge for it, it's only going to be like $1. It won't be much. I'm going to self-publish, like through Amazon.
So, and people will be able to download this?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
An ebook. It'll be like an ebook, and then if they want a print version, they can order a print version too. But mostly an ebook.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. I will download that.
You should.
Okay, I looked it up. So, I was born on July 30th, 1974. God, I'm old.
Nixon.
Yeah, it was Nixon.
He resigned.
Yep, he was president then, and he resigned, which put Ford in for my first 2 years of life.
Wow.
I'm old.
I was a sentient being at that point.
Yes,
you were. I remember it well.
You weren't just a baby.
No, I can remember Watergate and all that stuff. I hated watching because it interrupted all my favorite programs.
Yeah.
We didn't have cable back then. It was all network TV, and every
Breaking news.
Every single channel played the Watergate hearings. It was so boring.
You didn't care.
No, I didn't want to. First of all, I didn't know what it was about.
Right.
And I didn't really want to know what it was about.
Right.
It was just like now. You remember the Trump impeachment thing? This is the same thing. It's just like everybody trying to get the other guy and trying to get the other party, and just
over and over and over.
There
again.
were laws that were broken for sure, but still, it's everybody trying to one up the other person.
Exactly.
That's what politics is, anyway.
I agree. I'm not a huge politics follower.
No.
I choose to avoid as much as possible.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. So, but I don't remember Kennedy because I was only like 1 when he 1 year old when he was shot.
Right.
I barely remember Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah.
Just barely. So I can remember the Vietnam War, like barely in the background. I can remember being in, I don't remember, 2nd grade or something like that. And my 2nd grade teacher, somebody telling us one day we would have to go to Vietnam, and it scared the crap out of me.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2nd grader. But I do remember that. I don't. There's a lot of stuff that I don't remember. Like I definitely remember the moonwalk.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Beatles.
Yeah.
I don't remember Woodstock.
Well, think about what your parents allowed you to be exposed to.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. It's like whatever they really were into. Like one day, my dad watched Elvis live from Hawaii. Mm-hmm. It was one of the first times that a concert had been broadcast through satellite. That was such a big deal. And we had this little black and white TV, and everybody had to be quiet. My dad put it on, and we watched Elvis live from Hawaii, and had to get the rabbit ears exactly right, because there's no cable. And I remember that. But they never watched the Beatles.
No.
And I listened to all my dad was into country music, and I listened to all of that. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until many years later that I heard and knew about Woodstock and the Beatles and all the people who played Woodstock and all the 70s bands that my parents didn't listen to.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, again, you're a product of your rearing, I guess.
Yeah, it's you are at that age. Mm-hmm. You're only into what your parents are into.
Right. Right.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was watching Pink, the Funhouse Tour concert.
Yes.
God, that's a great video.
It is.
One of my favorites. And every once in a while, I just have to sit and watch it like 500 times. And I was doing that the other day, a couple of weeks ago. On the weekend, I was watching it. And there's one section, it's just a split second. And I'm assuming, I'm just going to say, it's parents holding their kid. It could be aunts and uncles and adoption or what, I don't know. But it just appears it's like two adults holding a younger child. Mm-hmm. And the younger child is like singing Pink's lyrics with his parents. And I just thought, that's so weird. I don't remember doing that when I was a kid, but it's just like apparently, the parents play Pink over and over and over for this kid, and the kid knows the lyrics. And at one point, he's like, I'm going to get my own music, Mom and Dad.
At some point, he's going to be like,
Pink.
I can't believe you made me listen to Pink.
Yeah.
I'm going to go listen to thrash metal.
Yeah. Such a nerd. Pink sucked, man. Yeah.
That's pop music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, though, because I always liked Elvis, and he's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll get an Elvis mood, and I'll listen to some Elvis.
Christmas time is when I do.
Yeah, definitely Christmas time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. So I mentioned when we first started the show that I would talk about my current state of being a little bit.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
And I want to get into that a little bit.
Okay.
And mostly on an abstract kind of thing. I want to talk about depression.
Oh, okay.
And actually, May is the perfect time to talk about it since May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But what I discovered just in the few days that you and I haven't spoken is how much depression can sneak up on you.
Yes.
And
it's its greatest trait.
Yes. So today I needed a spoon to get, I don't know, something, sour cream out of the tub or something like that. And I looked in the sink and I looked in the drawer and I looked in the dishwasher and I looked in the cupboard. Pretty much every single dish or utensil in my house is dirty and sitting in my sink right now.
Okay.
To me, my house is a reflection of what's happening to me inside. Mm-hmm. And I haven't done my dishes in a hot minute, clearly.
Okay.
Another thing is the way that depression can affect your body physically. All I want to do is sleep these days. Like I'll sleep all night long, wake up, and I could go right back to bed. But then there are nights I don't sleep hardly at all, and I'm tossing and turning, and I can't sleep. But as soon as my alarm goes off, man, I'm ready to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm tired all day, and it wears on you. Mm-hmm. And today especially, this has been coming and going, but today especially, I could just sit in my desk chair because I had to work, right? I'm going through something at work where I have to prove myself to my boss right now because of some lackadaisical attitude that I'd had in the past.
No, not you.
Yeah. And so I'm proving myself, and I'm doing a good job, you know, and I'm keeping up with all of the stipulations, and I'm actually enjoying it again. I found enjoyment from this job again. But because it's different than it used to be, the job itself. There are different goals now, and it took me a minute to kind of switch gears and get into that mindset. But now that I'm proving myself and in that mindset, I'm enjoying my work again, which is, I think, a good thing. Because, you know, some people who suffer depression don't always enjoy things that they used to. Mm-hmm. But I noticed today that I could sit in my desk chair for maybe 30 minutes, and I would stand up, and my joints all over my body just hurt. And I walk like I'm 80 years old getting up out of a chair. And it's just physical fatigue. It's just physical fatigue. Mm-hmm. I haven't done any exercising. I've been stretching like we spoke about on the last podcast. But that's not going to make your joints hurt like you've been running a marathon or walking up and down stairs all day long, right. You know? And it's mostly in my hips, my larger joints. And it's just, and I know what it is. And I've every day at lunchtime, I'm like, I could take a nap. I might take a nap. And it's just, why? You know, why don't I have any energy? Why am I not feeling this way? And I think that it's all due to depression. Now I'm making some strides. Again, with the work thing, I'm finding joy in that again. I did finally take my 5 bags of recycling downstairs. All I have to do is take it downstairs and put it in the bin. That's literally it. But I let it pile up. 5 bags of recycling. That's crazy. I have laundry piled up in I'm embarrassed about the way my house looks right now. I have piles of laundry that I need to wash. And these are like the dog blankets and bed linens and things like that, you know, can kind of stink up your house if you let them sit around, mm-hmm. right? and all I have to do is go downstairs to do my laundry. That is it. That's all I have to do. Go downstairs, do a load, come back upstairs. And it's just not getting done.
Well, you can always make bargains with yourself. Like, I'll do it tomorrow.
And that's what I do. Exactly.
And then tomorrow you're like, I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. I bought some hair dye. As you can see, my hair has been going gray for a while now. And I've kind of been letting it go. And I bought some hair dye to fix it and make it look better about 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. And I just haven't done it because it takes effort. Also, I remember a few episodes back, we were talking about weight in general. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about how I had lost some weight. And I'd gotten down to about, and this is personal information, TMI maybe, I had gotten down to about 195 pounds. Mm-hmm. I'm back up to 212 in like 1 month's time. That's crazy. That's almost 20 pounds, you know? And it's just from sitting around and not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And eating, emotional eating. I'm not hungry, you know, but I've got a fridge full of food and cupboards full of food. And I'm like, I'm bored. What should I do? And I open the fridge, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to kind of make people aware that these things can creep up on you and you can make bargains with yourself. So if you find yourself doing these things, just get up and do what you can. Just do what, if all you can do today is take a shower, take a shower. If all you can do today is brush your teeth, brush your teeth. If all you can do today is take that one bag of recycling downstairs and put it in the bin, do it. You know, it makes a difference, surprisingly, when taking those 5 bags of recycling down to the bin really helped.
Yeah.
And it's just something simple, something people do every day. You and your wife take the recycling out every couple of days, you know? But just doing it makes you feel like I did something.
I've learned a few things about depression over the years. It's taken a long time. Mm-hmm. And do you have this thing? Because I don't know. And I guess this is from chemical depression, because I think that's what I have. And I think depression can be so many things. But I can almost feel the exact moment that it hits me. Mm-hmm. Can you do that? Can you just like feel? It's like I could just like be existing, and then all of a sudden it's just like something gets pulled inside me or something. It's just like, and it's like,
yeah,
you just feel it's all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to say weight, it's just like you entered into a darkness. A lot of times it happens in the mornings, like a little bit after I wake up, I could just feel something just like pull me in.
Yeah.
And then it's just like,
yeah, and the rest of the day just is out the window.
A lot of times the rest of the week.
Sometimes the rest of the month.
But one of the things that I've learned is don't fight it. Don't. So, like, I've learned that one of the best things that I can do is to sleep.
Yeah.
Not everybody can sleep.
Nope.
I mean, you can, but a lot of people have to go to work at a certain time of the day, mm-hmm. have to work until a certain time of the day. Mm-hmm. That's just a given. If you can call in sick, mm-hmm. it's a good time to do it. But don't shame yourself for doing nothing but sleeping, because that is medicine a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's you're doing what you need to do for your health.
It's a form of self-care.
But you also have to be careful, because it can also be ineffective self-medication.
Right.
It could be causing you to put off something that could be more valuable. So, you know, like a lot of times, and we've talked about this, when you're in a state of depression, people saying snap out of it.
Yeah.
Or it'll be better soon, or
just
whatever.
Smile.
Yeah.
Go for a walk.
Those things don't help.
Right.
And just in some ways it makes it worse.
Yep.
But at the same time, what also doesn't help is not taking the steps that guarantee you to get better, even if they're small steps. Mm-hmm. And those are only the things you can do. Other people can control not saying dumb things to you, yeah. But only you can control doing the things that you need to do. And you have to really, I mean, it's just like if you have a headache, you have no problem taking medication for your headache. You'll go get an aspirin. You'll go get an Advil, whatever. You don't have trouble doing that.
Right.
If you have an upset stomach, you'll get Tums. You'll get Pepto. You'll just do it because you know
it's going to make it better.
But when you're going through depression, a lot of times you don't do what you know you should do.
Exactly.
And not everybody is on prescription medication. You don't have to be. But there are things that can be done to take care of your mind. And if you're not doing it, you're just as guilty as the people that are telling you to cheer up.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of doing that to yourself.
You are, because you're like, my body's, you need to listen to your body and listen to your mind. And if your body says, I need to go back to bed, go back to bed. Some people, like you said, not everybody has that luxury.
Right.
Right now, I am one of those people. I can't have a mental health day from work right now because I am trying to prove that I deserve my place here. But I was sick 2 days the first week of this proving myself at work. And my boss was like, I understand. You're sick.
Yep.
I can't make you not be sick. Take the time you need. So you will find that if you're honest with yourself and honest with your boss to a limit, that you will be granted the time that you need to self-care. A lot of companies offer a mental health day now and then. But then there's some weirdness there too, because they want you to schedule it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm going to schedule a mental health day. That's not what it's for, people. Right. That would just be a personal day, in my opinion.
Well, the other thing that you have to be really careful about when you're suffering from bouts of depression is you cannot let your mind be in charge, because your mind is the very thing that's ill.
Yes.
And so your mind is not going to be telling you necessarily things that are good for you. It might be telling you things that would help for a while, and you certainly should listen, like if you need sleep or whatever. But if your mind is saying, I don't want to leave, I want to stay in my house,
I just want to curl up in a ball,
that might be reinforcing the very same things that will make you stay in that. So sometimes you have to kind of do this when you're healthy too, is you have to either make a list or bargain with yourself of like, next time, and this is what I used to do, is like, next time I'm feeling like this, I'm going to force myself to do this. And for me, it is doing something different, because that's what half the time snaps me out of depression. And doing something different could be going and looking at a bookstore, just walking through the bookstore and looking, going to the grocery store, going to the farmer's market, taking a walk through the park, sitting down somewhere and just resting in public in a different place than I normally sit down. And that feeds my mind. It changes the mind. It changes the direction that my mind goes. It's a habitual way of thinking that a lot of times that you're into in depression, and it jars that habitual way of thinking out and causes new chemicals in your brain to flow to deal with those things. And a lot of times that's how, at least for me, my depression gets taken care of in that exact moment, is just experiencing something new. And it doesn't have to be around other people. It can be totally different. Walking and thinking, a lot of times, man, you just start writing things down. Even if you're just go sit under a tree and write in your journal or something, because it causes you to think in a way that's different than if you're writing and sitting on your couch.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you always do it. And your mind gets those little patterns. It's just like water that's passing over a rock. In the same way, every time it digs channels in that rock. And it just keeps doing that. It doesn't change. The way to mix it up, change the flow. And new things start happening. And when new things start happening, you can awake more. I'm not saying it would completely relieve you, but it will give you some relief. And it might start new ideas flowing. And it can help turn the depression sometimes.
Yeah. I noticed that my depressive moods I have multiple different kinds. Like the kind that sneaks up on me, the ones that I probably knew were coming that I was ignoring. And then I have the ones that I know instantly, oh boy, I need to do something different right now. And then I have the kind, the difference between them could be I just eat, emotional eating, because that makes me, I don't know, somehow happy, causes some dopamine or something, and relieves some of the stress of, the mental health.
Yeah.
But then I have episodes where food just doesn't sound good to me at all.
I wish I had those episodes.
They're not fun, but because anyways, I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. I figure if I talk about it and I get it out in the open, even just to you or to listeners, just to say, hey, this is happening with me right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I have answers to everything, because I don't. And I'm not saying that, I'm always like this, because I'm not. But I am right now.
Yeah.
And it did sneak up on me this time.
I think that people like Robin Williams, maybe Anthony Bourdain, maybe, certainly artists in general who also deal and struggle with depression, are people who spend a good part of their lives listening to their own selves.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. As an artist, you that's just part of what makes you an artist, and I think that's great. But if you suffer from depression, in my opinion, you got two types of depression. You've got the general kind of daily, I always call it artist depression, which is what I'm describing. It just every once in a while, it just hits you all of a sudden. It's like, oh, and you're ending up in what a lot of people call a funk, Sometimes for me, that'll last a week. And I'm not motivated to do anything. But then there are other times when the depression is or close to being clinical, when you really need medication. But that is a time to me when you should not listen to your own mind. That's when you should be associating with other people, even if you don't want to. You should be sharing your thoughts and feelings with other people, even if it's a counselor, because you're in danger at that point, because your mind can tell you some really bad stuff at that point.
Yeah.
The other way, the so-called artist depression or the lighter depression or the daily or just regular depression, I feel like that's when you get out and you can make just changes in your life, like I was talking about, doing different things here and there. So I just think you have to be able to evaluate one of the others. One, you can kind of navigate by yourself, but the other one you shouldn't.
Yeah. And my biggest piece of advice to people that are listening that maybe need it, or maybe someone that does, is, there is such a thing as depressive psychosis, or I think that's what it's called. But you also have things like bipolar psychosis. And these things hit without warning sometimes. And, if you or someone is thinking about hurting themselves or hurting yourself, that's when you need to talk to somebody, even if it's a friend, and ask for help.
Yeah.
Because you will continue to listen to that tape until you believe it.
Right.
That tape that's running through your head saying that you're worthless. You shouldn't. There's no point in you. What's the point of existence? Why am I here? Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to listen to that tape, because somebody in your past probably recorded that tape.
Sure.
Somebody important.
You recorded a lot of it too.
And you recorded a lot of it yourself,
right,
in previous depressive moods.
That's the biggest illusion is when you recorded it, you think it's got to be real. If you did it.
Yeah, it's got to be real.
Why would you lie to yourself?
Why? Yeah. But you, as much as it hurts, just make that phone call.
Yeah.
Just make that phone call to whomever and ask for help.
Or just reach out to Facebook friend or some, and you know what? It could be, if it ends up not being a close friend, there are professionals you can reach out to on Facebook and things like that.
There are actually, if you're employed, your employer probably has what's called an EAP program, which will give you at least 3 free sessions with a mental health provider. And and they don't ask questions. It's just part of an EAP program, employee assistance program. And, that's an option. Or another option is just a crisis hotline, even if it's just to talk, that's what they're there for. That's why they're there. I've had to call them before in the past. There's also, free counseling online. You can find all of these kinds of things. Unfortunately, those require you to fill out a form online, and that can sometimes feel daunting when you're in a depressive mood. But if you have the ability to do that, it's helpful.
Yeah.
And if you don't have insurance, or your insurance doesn't cover mental health care, then it's probably a really good option for you.
Yep.
So,
good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about that on the show a lot. You've gone deeper than I've gone, but I've gone deep, and I realized even at that time when I didn't know anything about depression. I kind of researched it, and I found what was at the time it was called artist depression, which I thought was a pretty good accurate description for me. And apparently a lot of artists go through it, but some people go through just severe. I mean, some people it's just they can't function.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
And there's help.
There is, and it's out there. It's available. So,
okay.
I'm making strides on my own. I've been through this more than once. Trust me. So I'm doing what I need to do to get out of it. Just coming over here, just getting.
That's what I'm saying.
Out of the house. Yeah.
Change of venue.
Yeah.
Just going for a walk does tremendous help. I mean, it does, especially if you're walking somewhere. Like if you walk your dog every day, the exact same location, there's nothing wrong with that, and that can help. But take a different path. Don't take your dog. Go somewhere else. Do something else. Break up the monotony. Break up the way of thinking, and do things differently, because that causes your mind to change, and it causes it will release new chemicals in your brain. It does happen.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you can, create some dopamine.
Yeah.
In a healthy way.
Totally.
Then by all means do that, because it does help.
Yeah. All right. We're done.
We're done.
We're stopping.
Yeah, let's stop this podcast. If you want,
let's stop this podcast.
Let's stop it. Pucker up, baby.
Baby.
If any of you have experiences with depression or anything you want to talk about, please feel free to email us at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Let us know if it's something you'd like us to share on the podcast or not. But I would like to hear, it helps me to know that I'm not going through this alone.
Yeah, it helps everyone.
It helps everyone.
Because that's the first lie that you're told.
Yeah.
By your mind is you're the only one.
Yeah.
Because you're broken.
You're isolated.
Yeah.
This is just you.
Yeah.
Your brain is broken.
Everyone else is having a great time right now. Everyone else everything's going great for them. But look at you.
Especially if you're flipping through Instagram at the time.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Everybody's smiling and happy.
Yeah, they're grown-ups and not you.
And I'm failing.
You made bad choices.
They're succeeding and I'm failing.
Those voices, they're the same voices that play in everyone's head, but you're convinced by those voices that you're the only one.
Yep.
That's about you. And the reality is, and this is the great thing about becoming an old man. Is I realized there's never a moment when you got it. There's just not.
Yeah.
You think that when you're a kid. You think it happens. There's never a moment when you become an adult. First of all, there's never a moment when you're like, finally, I'm a grown-up.
I have succeeded.
I'm 60. I don't feel that way. No one does, really.
One does.
There's a way that you could convince yourself that you feel that way. But at night, when you're laying in bed, you'll tell yourself, I don't really feel that way.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'm inadequate.
Yeah.
And everyone feels that way because we're all just stumbling through it. And that's cool. That's actually the best way to approach life. When you feel that way, when you feel you don't have it all together, you actually have it more together than the people who are operating under the illusion that they do have it together.
And it's okay to not have it all together.
It's actually wonderful.
Yeah.
I would say that's the state I prefer to be in when I feel like I don't have it all together. Because it's almost like you create a vacuum. When you don't know something, when you don't know what the hell's going on, that's when the hell starts going on.
Right.
It's when you start opening up to life and life starts giving you stuff to do, experiences. But you will never, ever, ever feel like you finally got it all together. You might for a couple of hours, but you won't consistently. Because you never will. No one is. There's just no solution.
I have an anecdote.
Just
You know who Tony Shalhoub is, right?
Oh yeah, I like him.
He's a great actor. He was Monk.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of things.
Wings.
I
can't remember. Was it I don't remember his name, but boy, he was funny in that.
Yeah. And he's been around, and he's got a big family. Like he's got, I think, 9 brothers and sisters or something. And, so he's got a really good support group behind him. But I was watching an interview with him, and the interviewer said, "So when did you know that you had made it?" And he looks at his watch and he's like, "What day is it?"
Yeah.
He's like, "You never do."
Right.
Because you never know when the next thing is coming. You never know where you're going to find your next step. And you never know how long what you're doing right now is going to last.
Yeah.
So nobody in a position like that can honestly say, "I've made it."
Right.
I've succeeded. Now, you have successes in your life and you have failures because you're human. But no one can say, "I am here. I've made it. I've succeeded."
Right.
There
is that illusion that to do that, you have to follow what everyone else is doing.
Right.
If I do it the way they did it, I will be successful. But that's death.
Yeah.
You actually doing it your way, and even if it crumbles, who cares? Just do it.
Yeah.
And then get up and do it again and just keep doing it. You're blazing trails. There will come a time when you'll talk to somebody and you'll realize they have been following you. They think you're cool. They think the way you do it is awesome. And even whatever you've been telling yourself, it doesn't matter. Just do what you do. That's why we're all individuals. So it's just like when you start realizing there's no one to follow, really. There's no method. There's no steps.
Guidebook.
If you're taking a class, there are certain things that you got to learn a certain way. You got to do it. Okay, do that. But in life in general, the key is having fun. Do what you do and have fun doing it, and that's how you do it.
It's
success. The only way to do it.
Yeah.
You do it.
You do it. Just do it.
Just do it. I'm going to go do it. First of all, let's do this. Let's talk about this beer. This, what was it? Pucker Up, baby.
Pucker Up, baby.
Baby.
It is a blackberry lemon thyme.
Very puckery.
Sour. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I love a good sour.
I know you do.
And I love this one. I think I'm going to give it a 4 or 5.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I'm putting your 4
There is something I'm missing.
What?
The herbaceousness. I'm not getting the thyme.
I don't know. I'm not even sure I know exactly what thyme tastes like.
Think a mixture between sage and rosemary.
Well, I mean, that would be excellent. But I don't taste that. But I don't know if I taste it mixed in. I don't know that spice well enough to know, so I don't know.
And I would think that the herbaceousness would come on the back end.
Yeah.
But I have nothing but sour in my mouth.
Right, but there's no back end. This is a very even flavor.
Yes.
So you don't get anything on the front or the back. It's just like one flavor. And that might be what I like the most about it.
Yeah.
I really like it. It doesn't. Some of the sours really kick you in the back of the throat.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't, and it's just kind of a nice little flavor. I'm giving it a 3.5. I did enjoy it. I drank more than you did, and I liked it. I liked it all the way down to the end there.
Good.
So we both say, "Pucker up, baby!" Is
Pucker
good.
up, baby.
Yeah,
go get you some.
That's gonna be my my little catchphrase from now on. When people tell me that they're having a bad time in life, I'm just gonna go, "Pucker up, baby."
That might be frightening to some people.
I don't care. If you don't like it, pucker up, baby.
Pucker up.
All right, let's pucker up, baby, and get out of here.
All right.
Listen, people, thank you for tuning in. We don't have a great podcast. We don't have the best podcast in the land. We don't have the most interesting podcast.
And we don't want to.
No, we like doing what we're doing. If listeners come along, fine, and we hope that you will keep coming back because you're the few people we have. But thanks for doing that. Thanks for listening. But reach out to us. Let us know if you're listening. We're on Facebook. You can find us there. You can always send us an email at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com and say, hey, guess what? I listened to the podcast, and that's cool. Send us a message on Facebook. We're around on Twitter. We're on Instagram. And the episodes, if you can't download them, which why couldn't you, they're on YouTube, free.
Yeah.
But I would say download them and then go to the place where you do the podcast and review. Give us some stars. And those people who did that, we don't always go to those places and check in, but I have gone in and people have left some cool reviews for us, and that's good.
That's awesome. We appreciate that a lot.
We do. I do. Mm-hmm. I'll pay you for it.
$0.25 star.
Maybe. But until then, Mondays. We come out on Mondays, and next Monday we'll come out with a new one.
We will. We'll be here.
Zoom of Evil. Don't forget, June 6th.
Evil Zoom.
Evil Zoom. Mm-hmm.
Get it right.
Okay. I will.
Okay. Evil.
All right. We'll see you then.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.